Alrighty, and we are ready to go. I have with me Scottobozo.
Hello.
What's going on, Scotto?
I'm doing pretty good. Ready to run some
All
any
right.
percent.
All right, glad to hear it. I see we have a commentator with us.
Yep, this is
Hello.
Mantodia.
It's Manto.
Hello.
All right. Glad to have y'all here, and I'm excited to see this run.
Yep, this is any percent, which means we start from a new game. We have some pre-made files because it's just easier for preventing like any crazy manipulation you can do on the PS3 that might get you more bolts than you're supposed to get.
Very interesting.
So yeah,
All right.
this is any percent. Our incentive is to put on the Tims. I'll show you what that looks like here. So if you want Ratchet to wear these fancy looking shoes for the rest of the run, you better get your donations in for that.
All right.
And now I'm about
Sounds
ready
like
to
a
start
plan.
the run.
All right, give us a countdown.
So I'll load the file. Once we get to the planet screen, it's about 3 seconds until the run actually starts. So it's about 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So this is any percent for Ratchet 2, played on the PlayStation 3, which makes it a lot faster actually. By
Yeah,
like
the
a
loads
minute.
are about 2.5 minutes faster.
Yeah, which is interesting because there's actually a lot of patches and unintentional updates on the PS3 version that make it slower, but it's actually such a fast console, and also it uses the least amount of like patches. So let me explain real quick. There's two versions of the game. There's Greatest Hits and Black Label. Black Label is unpatched. Greatest Hits is patched. The PS3 version is built on Greatest Hits, so therefore it inherited all of the patches. And of course, that mostly patches charge boot tech, and we will not be getting the charge boots in this category because it's actually slower. Normally on PS2, it saves a lot of time in pretty much every category it's in, but in any percent, it's such a detour that we end up saving more time not getting them. There's also a major glitch patch with the ship, but that's unintentional due to like the port changing the way things load for optimization. But that's Aranos. That's the
Yeah,
entirety of Aranos. Nothing
Theranos
too
is pretty
complicated,
simple.
minus money.
Very straightforward planet, but now we're gonna get to Uzla, and this is where we're gonna do like 3 whole skips. Maybe even 4,
Yeah.
depending on how you count, like skipping the dynamo.
Yeah. So this is the first clip. It's a tree clip. It's a actually pretty sizable corner cut. I believe it saves like 30, 40. But the clip here just avoids a bunch of enemies, a different path. Scotto has a manip that's technically legal on right now called Snail Manip. We're all a big fan of.
Yeah, it just
Even though
lets
he
you
said he
shoot the
wouldn't put
snails
them
out
on.
of the air instantly. It's
Yeah.
like really
Uh,
easy to get in runs without even trying, because you just have to visit Uzla in the session.
Yeah, so we pretty much soft allow it, but that's the boss skip. It's just done from spacing 2 good double jumps and a hyper strike, and then abusing the fact that you can jump out of mud once. Well, twice technically. But yeah, and then here's another cool little dynamo skip. We will not be getting the dynamo this run, and then we're going to be doing shop clip, which Scotto gets first try pretty easily.
This
So
is an
very nice.
incredible Uzla. This is world record pace right now, if I have to say.
Yeah, so this is good so far. So yeah, that was textbook stuff right there. Exactly what you want to see. And now we're on to our first ship level.
Yeah. Whoopash and Felton are the 2 main, like, really hard ship levels to do consistently. It's very common for me to lose, like, 10 seconds or more to my gold to those levels.
Nope. And since we're playing on PS3, there's very, very slight differences in ships levels here. The ships don't like emit a glow as much. Their effect layer is missing, so it's kind of harder to see on PS3, and that's why I think the golds aren't entirely reflective of what they could be. Is that it's just much harder to see. They blend into the background really easily. Um, The other thing is that the ship sensitivity is higher on PS3, so that's just a little fun fact. It doesn't change too much, actually, believe it or not. It just makes it a little nicer to control. But yeah, the ship sensitivity is a little higher. Um, And all he's doing here is, if you can't see it, don't worry, it is hard to see. There's green ships and there's blue ships, and the green ones are one hit from the lasers, and the blue ones take a missile to get one hit, but they also can take like a bunch of laser shots if you don't have any missile ammo. The green ones are more frantic in their patterns, and the blue ones will target you harder, so they'll come in front of you, and they'll like lock onto you. Like you see that one got really close, like they just fly in front of you often, and that's like a scripted thing. And this looks like it was an okay Whoopash, nothing too bad, minus the screen guy at the end.
Yeah, last ship was just flying around, trying to be hard to hit. A little bit camera shy.
The green ones are very frantic in their movement, and so they can be kind of annoying. Where the blue ones will glue to you if you just kind of ignore them for a while. They'll just eventually just snap right to you, which is kind of nice, kind of terrible, but you just deal with it. This is another packless planet. We still don't have Clank yet. There is not a lot of corner cuts in this level, sadly, due to the fact it's very linear, because it's pretty much taking you to the arena, of course, so they want to kind of give you some enemies to give XP. A lot of these guys have a decent amount of XP, so you'll just see on the way. We'll be killing them, getting ammo, getting money. We have some money checks coming up very soon. There is, I think the first money check is no tack, which is 6,000 bolts, but that's a mandatory money check. Our optional money check.
Yeah, that's the main money check. I'll be keeping track of the bolts throughout the run to make sure that I'm like on pace to have enough. And if I don't, then I'll take some backup crates. On like either in Daco or Barlow, or where I have some backup crates that I might have to get. But my bolts were looking pretty good early on. I had like 2,600 entering the first like limo that took me to the other section of the level. So I'm looking pretty good so far.
If you know like Ratchet 1 or other Ratchet games, you'll know that there is a money sort of climb in like Ratchet 1. You have to really make sure that your bolts are routed. In this game, it's sort of lenient. In pretty much every category besides this one, you do not have to worry about bolts to an extreme extent. But in this category, you kind of do. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the arena real quick. The arena, for the most part, is based on your line of sight. And
where they spawn is based on where you're looking, and I always make sure to kill the last enemies of the round with the gravity bomb so that it kills them while they're still coming out of the pod. And so that saves a little bit of time over what most people normally do, which is using the gravity bomb on the bigger sets of enemies, which tend to be the first pod that comes out.
Yeah, so you'll see him sort of use the Lancer on groups that are bigger, and you would think like that's losing time, but that's actually like not how it works, because the round ends as soon as all the enemies are killed. And so if you're taking a slow time to kill one group that the second group hasn't even come out yet, there's no point in just killing them instantly. You're just wasting your time and your ammo. And of course we have two weapons, the gravity bomb and the Lancer. The gravity bomb is a pistol. I mean, the Lancer is a pistol that is pretty much just very reliable. We'll be using it a decent amount through the run just to shred some bosses and stuff. And the gravity bomb is a screen clear pretty much. And we'll be upgrading the Lancer first because it, of course, is a little bit more useful on bosses. And it's easier to level up.
Mind if I get in real quick for a second? Sure. Just want to let y'all know we have a $20 donation from CJ. Says, I'm a New Yorker. We wear the Timbs in New York. So I guess that's a glowing endorsement for the Timbs. So $20, 20 more dollars. Thank you.
Yeah, I won't be able to put them on until at least the end of this level, so let me know once we've reached the incentive.
Of course. We're only about $7 away. So if anybody wants to make that happen, $7.
You guys are quick. Just like I'm going to be quick in this run.
Yeah. 7 pretty good run. So that old man put that stuff in my hand.
Alright, so here's a little skip here called Crane Skip. I'm going to be using an enemy to boost up. I've messed it up a little bit, but hopefully I can get it here. There we go. Still got 2 health. There's going to be 2 health crates that I can pick up later. But for now, one hit from one of these laser guys or one of these gunner guys is going to kill me. So I gotta be careful.
There's kind of a thing called SIs we'll be using a lot more later on. That
There's a health crate, so now I'm not in
similar to
imminent
that.
danger anymore.
And basically, when he can stand on an enemy, if he presses X at the exact right time there, he can get a stand point off of it and double jump off of pretty much nothing. But it's pretty much explained like this: if there's a slope in the game, there is somehow a way to get off that slope with either a jump, a high jump, or I think you can do it with a long jump technically in some areas, but yeah. So there's a lot of surfaces that we seemingly can't get over. There is a way to get over, and
well, I'm in imminent danger again because that fan apparently didn't die.
If you went for the skill point, he might have died though.
So
Ooh, you didn't get the
these guys. Now I
audio
can get the other health crate, and now I'm at 3 health, which means I won't get one shot by the regular enemies, but I can get one shot by the boss at the end. So yeah, if you're wondering what these are, these electrolyzers, they're just little puzzles. They're auto-scrollers. And they're the same every time, so it's just kind of a boring part where I can relax, get ready for the next part, which we have our first Clank section here.
Yes.
Since we're relaxing real quick, we got that $7 from Dark Whimsicott. Let's get it. Thank you so much, Dark Whimsicott.
Alright, I'll be sure to put on the Tims at the end of this level, because that's when I get them. But yeah, the Clank section, there's just a lot of small things going on. Just making sure to get all of the bots I need. There were 4 micro bots at the beginning, but you only need 2 for the ending, so I only get 2. And here there's a laser dude. I'm just gonna jump over to him. Clank only takes 1 damage from the laser dude, but Ratchet takes 2. Not sure why that happens. You know, I guess Clank being made of metal is just a little bit stronger.
I don't think there's a single enemy that deals Clank for more than 1 at all.
I feel like TNT crates, or the slot machines in Up Your Arsenal, when they blow up, they'll do more than 1 damage.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of any. At least not in this game.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll notice that I was jumping against the wall a couple times. That's a little bit of speed tech you can do in the Clank sections sometimes. You know, you just jump against the wall and that somehow makes him move faster.
Yeah, we'll be using that again later as well, for the races. This is the B Clank now. This is where we have to fight the boss on the level. Now that we have Clank, we're going to be using the Thruster pack, and if you're wondering, Thruster versus Heli, what is the difference? Thruster is faster initially as a burst of speed, but Heli has more potential to get higher speeds. So,
so I'll be using Heli when I have long stretches where I don't really have anything that's going to get in my way.
Mm-hmm. This is also a great XP path if you haven't been able to tell. Scotto's almost done with the Lancer. Which,
I'm 1 or 2 fan enemies away here.
Which he'll be using for the boss. And he cancels the animation for upgrading by swinging his wrench, and when the gun's not out, it won't pause the game. At least a new game. Doesn't work like that in NG+. But yeah. The boss is relatively simple. Scotto just has to pretty much just track him with the Lancer as long as he can. The phases aren't really easy to tell because you skip through them so fast, but he's going to finish him with the Gravity Bomb, which funnels the XP from the Lancer damage to the Gravity Bomb. So that gives exactly 1/4 of the Gravity Bomb's XP, even though he only used it for the last shot. This is Swing Shot
so now
swag.
we've got our Tims. I'm going to do my Swing Shot swag. Putting on the Tims now. And we'll have that for the rest of the run.
Alright.
It's just a couple menu inputs that lost me maybe half a second at most.
Do you still do it in normal attempts?
No, I don't anymore.
Oh, come on, where's your heart, Scotto?
In normal attempts, I used to do it on this, like the pack switch that I do here. But I found that when I did that, for some reason I got like a rogue left or right input somewhere, and that messed me up all the time.
Right, yeah, and that's Mactar 2 skip.
Yeah, we skipped the tractor beam completely there. We're never gonna need the tractor beam, which is the other path on Uzla, which we just skip it completely, and that's like maybe 5 minutes saved thanks to that skip.
Huge. It's that Mactar path that we skip there is really bad. It's like garbage. So it's very good to have a skip for that. If you're wondering how that works, though, we get a bunch of speed with the thruster pack. We carry it into the helipack, and then we drop the ledge, which carries the helipack speed, and then we hyperstrike, which clips us through the floor, and then we get past that little barrier there, which is actually extremely useful. But yeah, now we're on the moon.
Yeah, we got
Mactar.
moon gravity, which means thruster is even better than it was before. And pack switch chains like what I did to get in here are going to give me even more distance and height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
goal
kind
for
of
this
weird because
level.
it's not like you have moon gravity, but you have stronger abilities, to say the least. It's kind of weird. There's some very strange specific changes, but here comes your double long jump chain here, which is a lot easier and better than this. It's actually really satisfying to watch, so I'll just let it do the talking.
Messed up the pack switch menu, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so he still gets the entire thing there. He covers a distance here, and he gets the mission done really quickly. So that was very good. It's a good jamming.
Yeah, that was a really good jamming. This run is super solid. Like, the only mistake has been the crane skip, really.
The oh yeah, the bridge is out here, and instead of like, you know, having because we didn't technically complete the path, so it never put down bridges that we needed to do. We just double jump across, and then we die at like the center of the level, which gives us the origin checkpoint, which spawns us at the ship, and we can leave. That Death Abuse saves like 1 second, but it's cool, so we go.
Yeah, it's nice. I have 10,000 bolts, which should be fine to skip the backups here.
Oh, here's the most cute skip in the run, by the way.
Yeah.
This entire path can just be skipped by high jumping and hugging the wall, and then you can just grab the edge and get all the way up. So, pretty pathetic attempt at keeping us away, but you know, that's just how it is. Hey,
Now we're going to have the Barlow race, which is a great time for donations, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any, feel free to read them. If you don't, I'll just talk about how I have the best Barlow race in the community with a 212.4 on 60 hertz. For some reason, playing in 50 hertz actually makes the race a little bit faster because boosts last a little bit longer. They messed up the math a little bit to make the boosts last the same amount of time. So if you have PAL PS2 and you have this game on PAL, then you can get a world record in the race, or at least do better than I do.
It's kind of weird to think about, because doesn't that mean like every version minus PS2 greatest hits has an optimal like category to run now? Like technically, in a weird way, like you can I can't think of like anything in greatest hits that would be optimal for that.
Yeah, I think greatest hits is just unanimously the worst version, like undeniably the worst version of this game.
Yeah, well, technically any percent, like old any
like,
percent.
yeah, it's the same as Black Label for any percent PS2, but other than that,
yeah,
like any percent PS2 is still bad.
Mm-hmm. The race, otherwise than that, is just preserving boosts and using them at the right time. I'm sure Scotto can do a better explanation than I can. So
yeah, I'm doing a thing called Mobius Route. I'm going to be skipping that boost on lap 2, like you see there. It has more potential to get a better time. I think a 212.3 on 60 hertz is possible, but it's ridiculously hard.
It's
yeah, you see there I got a 44.0 lap time, which is...
That's pretty crazy.
It would be insane with the normal route, but that's pretty standard to get with the Mobius route here. Mobius, top level IL runner in a lot of different Ratchet games, and also top level in some of the future games like Crack in Time.
Mm-hmm. He loves his ILs, especially in Deadlock.
He came up with this route. He was like, maybe it's faster. There was a little bit of testing. We haven't gotten results yet. But this race could be a 2:12.4, who knows? Oh no, not with that jump. It's gonna be like 2:12.6.
Wow, you did call that. It's pretty crazy.
So yeah, now we're done with the race. We're gonna jump back to the ship. Conveniently, they place the end right next to the beginning, so it's quick to go back. And we're off to Felton, our second ship level.
I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to know, like the Tims we're talking about, those are the grind boots. If you just maybe haven't played this game in a while, no use for those. So not a single grind boot path ever gets used in this category. So just ignore that they exist beyond the fact of being really nice sneakers. So or Tims or boots, I guess. But yeah, so this is Felton, another ship level. A little bit different than the last ship level. The main addition is that there are purple ships, which are a hybrid between the blue and the green. Basically, they are very frantic, like the green ones. They have very similar behaviors, but the difference is that they have much more health. So it gets really annoying, sort of track them down. They become kind of annoying, but they don't have as much health as the blue ones, so you can still laser them fine without getting too much of a problem.
Dang, I thought I'd get him without the missile. Oh well, that's minor time.
You got 10 of them though. Could have gone ham.
Yeah, I didn't realize I got missile ammo earlier.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Each
I
wave
just
there's like 15 of the green guys, 5 of the blue guys, and 5 of the purple guys. So I could use all 10 missiles realistically on one wave.
This raritanium luck is hurting me. So there is a very, very useful glitch that we skip in this category. It's finally time to talk about. So if you know what raritanium is, it's the currency for the ship to upgrade it, but we'll never be unlocking the level where you upgrade. This is not a bad Felton.
Yeah, I got low health there. It was a little bit scary, but it was a good Felton.
Yeah.
Now we're heading to Notak. This has one of the most interesting route developments that we've had recently. So what I'm going to do at the start is I'm going to jump past the checkpoint here at the bridge so that I can do a death abuse later. I keep messing up my menus, but luckily I still made it work.
There. And when he skips his checkpoint there, all that means is that he won't spawn at the bridge and spawn up at the ship, like he said. Here he's going to be cutting this path here. There's normally like a gate that's blocked off, so you can't get to this part of the level. But instead, he's going to be jumping around it, and now he's going to be jumping on top of this bridge and doing tiptoes. Tiptoes are basically just slopes have a property where you can double jump off them if you are neutral and spam X. And then here he's going to death abuse, and since he's got no checkpoints, he'll spawn entirely at the start, which makes the planet insanely fast, and it's very cool.
Yeah, that was really good. And another thing about the tiptoes, they're really important because they skip the checkpoint that's right at that bolt crank that you saw over there. And so that also allows the death abuse to work. Without tiptoes, that route would not work at all.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that death abuse is NG plus and any percent only, because we are also doing a route that skips the ship shack coordinates.
Although in all Platinum Bolt, we've recently found that revisiting Notak with the charge boots can be faster. So that route has crept its way into APV as well.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, here we're going onto the train. The train has weird physics, but first we're going to upgrade the gravity bomb. So yeah, you'll see the weird physics of the train right after I get through the first phase of this boss, which I'm going to clear instantly thanks to a nanotech upgrade. So I gotta wait for the cycle here.
Then he gets it.
Pretty
that used to be very scary, but now that's the standard. Pretty much everybody's doing it these days. There is a full train skip where you can do an entire chain through the entire train. I've gotten it one time, and it is not easy. So don't don't expect that to be implemented anytime. There is ungodly amounts of death barriers on that train, so it's a miracle that. And then we're just gonna destroy the boss here with the
Shoot
mini
a few
nuke.
lancers at it. Spam the mini nuke now, since it is the highest DPS we can get. And then this cutscene is gonna play, but I'm gonna wait a little bit to collect some bolts because I need 10,000 bolts by the end of Dabo, which is the planet after this one. So, starting here on Tabora, I want to have around 6,500 at least.
So when you kill a boss, all the bolts and ammo magnetize to you. But the thing is that PS3 loads so quick that you actually got to wait a little bit, because even in the cutscene it does that. So we just wait an extra second here. The boss, the way we kill it is actually very precise, in a weird way you wouldn't expect. You get double cutscene if you don't kill it the way we do. So unless you use the Lancer the entire time or do exactly what's done there, you get double cutscene. The cave also has no fog on PS3 because Scotto skipped the cutscene perfectly, which means that the cave is fogless, as we call it.
Yeah, on PS3 you can do a thing called insta-skipping, which happens if you buffer the start input just before the cutscene loads.
Yep. You can
So
do it on
if you
PS2
do that on the
as well,
second
but,
cutscene,
you know.
yeah, if you do that on the second cutscene, then you skip the fog, but it's impossible to do on PS2. Because to insta-skip on PS2, normally you need something to lag the game so that you can pause it.
Yeah, I do a few of them, but some of them are useful, some of them are not useful. And in this category specifically, the ones that I do, like specifically like Aranos, that insta-skip saves a decent amount of time, and the Barlow one, not really needed because the game loads so fast on PS3, you just don't need it. Scotto's going to be death abusing here, just so he can go back to the start once he has 10 crystals, which repairs the ship. Normally you can get money from this, but that's such a waste of time. It's actually unbelievable. But yeah, so that's Tabora. Now we're on to Dabo. We are going to be skipping. I think this is the first time we skip a planet, like an actual planet, right? Like normally we did skip Ship Shack, but I'm not going to count that because that's actually like a planet with
yeah, Ship Shack's just optional upgrades. But here we're skipping the right path completely, which skips Joba, and by extension the Levitator, the Gravity Boots, and the Infiltrator.
Yeah, so we skipped 3 big things that are needed for progression normally, but the only things we actually need are our Tims, our Swing Shot. No, that's about it, actually.
Yeah, there's one of the examples of the helipack having a higher potential speed, so it's worth it to switch there. Just to maintain higher speed. And then here we're going to clip out, glide all the way down to the end of the level. This skips the glider, which was on Tabora. And by extension, the Terminator, which you needed to get the glider. Which the Terminator was all the way back on Barlow, but we skipped that path entirely as well.
Yeah. The only gadgets we'll be getting are the Swing Shot and Grind Boots. Everything else is skipped. The Swing Shot saves a lot of time on certain areas, and it's pretty much mandatory for this run unless you want to get the Charge Boots. There is a huge lava pit that's just pretty much unavoidable, unless something absolutely crazy was found. But yeah, so the Swing Shot is the only gadget we pretty much get because it's needed. Like everything else is skipped. The Electrolyzer also is important, but yeah, this is actually a really comfy ship level because it's just very it's not that bad. It's actually pretty easy. It's got a different goal. You don't have to fight 25 waves of ships and it's just basically to take out these turrets that repair themselves, but you kill them fast enough, they don't ever get to repair themselves, so you can just kind of win.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's the easiest chip level in the run for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at most I'll only ever lose like 2 or 3 seconds to my gold on that level, as opposed to, you know, Wupash and Felton where I can lose up to 20, and that's like what my PB has is plus 20 to gold on Felton.
Mm-hmm. Here comes a very, very stressful level, kind of like no tack in a way. Scotto's going to be doing a midair here to cut the level in half again. And then we're going to be doing a very complicated SI, which skips an electrolyzer puzzle.
Yeah, all this stuff only saves like 8 seconds over playing the casual route. But in world record attempts, it's well worth it.
Yeah, I see no reason for people to just not go for it, period, because it's not too bad, but it can be like stressful and annoying. But this part is hard. I don't think there's much debate on it being at least somewhat difficult, but there Scotto gets it first try. So
yeah, first
wonderful.
try. One SI strat. Luckily, I was able to place the decoy in the right place so that that enemy that one-shots you is completely distracted and never attacked me at all.
Yeah, so you level up in this game, like sort of like an RPG like system for leveling up your health and your ammo and your guns and stuff. We only level up 3 guns actually, and then we skip it on the health, so everything one shots you. But hold on, it's not Barlow, it's Bolden time, which is a very, very interesting planet because we don't even close to go onto the normal path of the level.
I fell down, but there's a backup here.
Yeah, so this is the out-of-bounds scenery that we are going to be using to its fullest to make our way around the level. Scotto's going to be climbing the scenery using SIs, which is slope intercepts, which just means that he's just before he's going to start sliding off of them, he's going to be doing an action onto them. So either high jumping, single jumping, or other stuff. And it looks like he's got the entire thing now. And that cuts the entire level to the very end, which is a huge skip.
Yeah, the only other strat involves like a lot of decoy clipping, going through where enemies are in the intended path, and so this saves about like 15 seconds over the intended path. Well, not the intended path, but over the old speedrun route. That involved a lot more danger, frankly.
Yeah, and this is a more direct line to the end. But now we gotta play as Clank again. There is a skip for the second Clank section here, but if I'm being honest, it's a little ridiculous. And it's hard. So, unless someone is really craving to get the edge on world record, I couldn't see anybody going for it for a little bit until it's fully explored.
Crazy hard. It saves like 40 seconds, but it also like loses a minute if you miss it. So
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous.
40 seconds probably too. It's not like something you can just like pull off very easily. Likely you could be setting it up for an extra like 5-6 seconds and getting like a 30 to 20 second time save, even if you played optimally. So, you know, it is pretty hard, but it does skip a Clank section, so that's a reward of its own, you know. But yeah, so this is the only really interesting thing to note here is that he's going to be punching these guys instead of attacking them. They come up the same way every time, so you just kind of dodge out of the way of their stuff and then kill them, or hit them off the map.
I was also getting some boxes earlier on, because there's another bolt check coming up on the second to last level. I'll need 15,000 bolts. And you'll see there, as the screen fades in, I was throwing another decoy. If you just mash circle there, throw a decoy, throws it in a place where none of those enemies can hit you. So you're just safe to go through the rest of that.
Huge Magna Boot skip here. We're going to be stepping on a bunch of stuff out of bounds. Kind of out of bounds, not really. But you're not supposed to be there, to say the least. But yeah, so that skips the Magna Boots for the first time. But for now, Scotto's just going to power through this section here. Try not to get shot, but yeah. So we ride to the elevator and that takes you to another Clank section. If you have any donations,
jumps here.
if you have any donations, I think this is a good time. I don't know. I'd rather ask you.
Unfortunately, we haven't had any donations for a minute. Ever since we got the incentive, it's been kind of quiet on that front. But,
well, I'll just talk about the Clank section here. The Clank section is all about like making sure your bots do the actions they need to do as soon as you can, and of course making sure that your bots don't die. So I have to kill all of those chicken bots before I make the bridge bot get back up. And I want to get him to the elevator as soon as possible, so I didn't like detour for any bolts. Then here there's 4 chickens, which sometimes one of them can hide behind the wall there, and can kind of scare you if you didn't realize there were 4 of them and you only killed 3.
Yeah, so many people fall for that, especially casually. That was mean of them to sort of have the ability for him to even go there, but, you know.
Now we have a couple spiders here. If I make all of these guys attack at the same time, for some reason the one in the back doesn't kill the one that went for it. And then here I'll be doing something very, very high level. I'll be doing the salute to cancel the animation. That makes the bridge bot salute, and then the bridge bot will take a more straight line to his bridge spot here. It's a little tiny thing that like almost nobody thinks to do until you're at the absolute peak of optimization.
And that's our last Clank section for the run. Thank God. He actually upgraded his wrench there. It almost doesn't matter, in a way. There is a faster strat, technically, on Snivelak for wrench onlying the boss is actually a little faster than what we're going to be doing. Just by a little bit. I think I could even make it more faster, but like, you know, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Anyway, but
anyway, jumping around the wrench upgrade is annoying, so I just don't bother.
Yeah, it is really annoying to skip that wrench, believe it or not.
It's just easier to walk forward and not care.
Yeah. Oh, Scotto gets first try. That SI is evil. That is the worst SI in the game. So that's very good he got it first try.
And especially with Thruster. It's like harder with Thruster pack than it is with Helipack.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're heading to Gorn. Gorn's going to be our last ship level, and I take a very specific route to make sure that I'm able to kill all of the huge ships here and not die in the process. Like, if you watch me do attempts, it's very rare that I die on Gorn. Like, the worst case scenario usually is that I lose a couple seconds. Ooh, I got extra missile ammo.
It's kind of like a hybrid between the earlier ship sections and the later ship sections. I mean, and Harugus. There's 4 big targets, and they have a lot of health, and they're the only goal, but there's a bunch of little ships flying around trying to bother you. The main use for the ships is that ships have a lot of goodies in them, which is more just like more missile ammo you can spam on them.
First
health,
dead.
And that's it actually. But yeah.
Yeah, missile ammo or full shield, which will protect you. Basically act like extra health.
Yeah.
Now I'm heading to the 3rd ship, which I haven't even touched yet. I'm going to be shooting 2 missiles at it. I'm saving the extra 2 that I got from the missile ammo earlier for the last ship, because the last ship tends to be the scariest, where if you don't kill it in time, you run the risk of either crashing into it or losing like 10 seconds because you have to turn around and then go back to shoot it again.
Do you have splits up, by the way, Scotto?
No, I don't have splits. I just have a regular timer.
I was wondering
That's why I've
what
been
your pace
ship
is
menuing
like.
so quickly. Because I don't care about splitting, I'm just doing the menu.
Just gaming out. Something a little interesting to note is that I don't think we have proper documentation on if the weak spot either doesn't work on PS3 or the lasers don't work with the weak spot. Because there is a weak spot for these ships. But,
yeah, we know there's a weak spot on the 3rd mission, which is one ghost ship that has way more health than these guys. Yeah, but we don't really have any proof of it on the Mission 1 enemies.
Yeah, Fear says that it is true, but you never know. Oh, here's a really cool swing shot chain here, by the way. Basically, this one wall here doesn't have accurate collision. I mean, it doesn't have collision, so you can go through it if you have enough speed. Use the swing shot to clip through it, or not really clip through it, but go through that texture, and you skip a wall, a grind boot path. It's just nice. And then we're going to be flying past all the enemies with neutral cancels, a tech we didn't really get to talk about too much, but you can go fast with side flips if you have the helipack on.
I actually barely got through that before they broke my decoy, because I only threw 2 extras to distract them.
Yeah,
so that was a little
the decoy
bit scary.
glove actually has a purpose beyond clipping us through walls, believe it or not. But here's poking.
I don't know if he broke the bridge there. Okay, good, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll just let him get it first.
No, that's bad distance there. Let's try and clip in. Having a bad time with this. There we go. Alright, now I'm clipped in. He can't hit me. I'm safe. I lost maybe like 4 seconds, maybe like 6 seconds trying to get clipped in there, but you know, it's fine, because now I just wait till he's halfway, make him turn again so that he doesn't do a different attack phase, and then I just shoot my Lancer there, and he shoots himself, and the boss is dead. Who would have thought?
Yeah. I've heard a little bit of misconception about like what the damage is there. It's like 40-60, more like. It's like the Lancer does 40%, the boss does like 60%. It's not like 90% the boss hurting itself. But it does help a lot. But yeah. That boss is kind of crazy because there's a lot of manips going on. But basically just you shoot him in his crotch, that's his weak point. It's that simple. And now I can say that. But yeah, this is Smog. We actually go to the warehouse in this category, which is very cool because we don't normally go here in any other category. So
yeah, we just
nice
go
to
here
be
for the 1 platinum bolt and APB, and that's it.
Yeah.
But here we get to explore the whole out of bounds.
Which is actually a wicked out of bounds, because this area we're supposed to be in, that we're in right now, not at all intentional.
Dang, I messed up that midair. I'm gonna have to take the clip here. In a world record attempt, I'd be very sad about that. But this is a marathon run, and even if it is world record pace, I don't really care. This is a marathon run. I'm chilling. Long jump into those boxes to get some extra bolts. And then this is our last electrolyzer in the run.
Chat, give us some hearts in chat. It makes the heart rate here on the electrolyzer right now. Look at that.
You love
because
to see
you get a little love letter essentially in this cutscene, but we skip it, so
love to
wouldn't be able to tell.
So yeah, we just get the cutscene there. There's a long path back to the ship, but we're just gonna load.
Yeah, PS3 loads pretty slow, but it's still fast enough to get us back to the ship, rather than taking the horrible trek back. It's very slow. You just gotta trust.
All right, before we head off to the next planet, let me get something real quick. We got 3 donations. As soon as I said that it's been quiet on the front, at the Funyuns gave $5 saying, "Let's go Scottobozo." Thank you, Funyuns. Spicy donated $10. Really enjoying Speed Doc's launch party. Well done, you guys. Thank you so much, Spicy. We're doing our best. Glad y'all are having fun. And Aged Whale with $5. One of the greatest inventions of the past 100 years has got to be the whiteboard. It's not number 1, but it's still pretty remarkable. Remarkable whiteboard. All right. Anyways.
I get it now. It took me a second. I was thinking about the level, but yeah.
Yeah, here we're going to use spider bot farming. We want to level up the spider bot, which is the 15k bolt thing that I had to buy. So we're going to use these proto pets. We're going to reload the level, go back and do it again, even though we've already unlocked the next planet. It's faster to upgrade it here than anywhere else in the game.
Because the XP not only doubles, but 2.5 times the XP that normally these guys give, which is already a very high number. So yeah, it's kind of nuts. But I did want to say real quick, I'm doing a presentation right now, and it has to do with whiteboards, like in one of my classes. So I was really confused and thought that was one of my group mates. So you threw me for a loop there for a second. But yeah, this is a very interesting weapon choice if you've ever played this game. The spider bot is a pretty useless gadget, if I'm gonna be honest. Um, I mean, useless weapon for the most part. But oh, looks like we're a little low on XP. Oh wow, you got it.
I
Still.
barely
I'm
missed it,
surprised.
but with a third throw there, I was able to get it. Now we're gonna
It's
take
a
the
little hard to
Raritanium
tell.
car back. This is the only time in like any category that we get to use the Raritanium car, so you better enjoy it.
Yeah, you
Heading
better.
off to Yeetle. My timer said it was 43:57, which means my best possible time should be around a 46:02, which would be a 5-second world record if I did it.
All right. Well, there is one thing I want to say real quick. There is a seizure warning coming up on the final boss. So if you are prone to seizures, I will give you a warning if I remember. But if you are not, it's right when the final boss happens. So after the teleporter, just be wary.
Small death.
Kind of
Luckily, I got the continue point. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
that
thank
much.
God you got the continue point there.
I'm gonna throw the decoy out of bounds. Ratchet just kind of pushes his own decoy through the wall. I'll distract the enemies while I clip through that wall, get into the end. Skipping the Hypnomatic completely.
Oh yeah, we skipped the Hypnomatic on Grelvin as well.
That's an unfortunate hit there.
Yeah,
So it's another
it's hard
small
to clip
death.
on 1 HP.
World record's probably dead. But, you know, it's still gonna be a low 46 if I hit this next part. So here we're gonna do a crazy strat. We're gonna clip out here and we're gonna do some Hyper Strike SIs. Found by Mr. Jarnut Man, one of the most niche strat finders in the community. It just lets us climb up the wall there. Do a double jump out here. Throw a decoy again into the wall so that they can't hit it. See, this is really where the decoy glove shines. We use it like 5 times in the game to make sure that nothing can hit us. So here's the final boss. This is where our seizure warning is.
Yep,
Break the box there so that he spits out his proto-pets. And by standing out here, he spits them all into the void so that he never actually stops spitting proto-pets until you get him past the damage gate, which is at about 1/3 of his health. And by the time we do that, we're doing enough damage that he's gonna die real quick.
Yeah. So
Although I'm not getting very good damage here, unfortunately.
You throw 2 spider bots at once. If properly done, you hit 2 hitboxes, which destroys his health by just mashing X because there's no fire rate cap on this weapon, and that's it. That's
that
the
was
game.
a 46:15 right there. A whopping 8 seconds off the record right now.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts for a marathon run. And with the Tims. The Tims do lose 20 seconds, as I've been told, so that would have been world record.
Yeah, it would have been the 45 without the Tims, but don't worry about it. We're here for the content right now. But yeah, that's been Ratchet and Clank 2 Any%, also known as Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I hope you enjoyed it.
More locked and loaded.
What do you suppose is wrong with it?
I don't know.
And since we're so far under estimate, I want to know if I can like go show off some cursed tech here on Snivlack, because there's some cursed tech.
Please.
Fun little glitch.
Does it have to do with the ship?
Yes, it does.
What was
actually.
your timer on your end?
What was that?
Sorry, what was your timer on your end?
It was a 46:15 was the final time.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there's a tech in this game called ground ILJs, where basically if you input fast enough, you can infinitely like side flip and long jump on the ground. But it's a TAS-only strat for the most part, unless you're like going up a slope. But I found that if you go under the ship, Ratchet actually can't leave the ground fast enough. And so you can actually do ground ILJs under the ship.
It's such a niche thing. I bet you there's some surface in the game where we'll find something similar, but yeah. Maybe we could have like a running start at the start of like a no-tack to cross the gap. But I couldn't even imagine the distance, the speed you would need to get for that, so. Yeah, but basically you can Obviously, we
Yo,
know
frame
side
perfect.
flips and long jumps. Nice. Side flips and long jumps. Of course, like gain speed with the helipack if you do it correctly. In this game, it's frame perfect to go from 2 long jumps in a row. So we do side flips for the most part, which are called neutral cancels. And when we do that, we can just get a shit ton of speed. Excuse my language. Half committed to the S, so I had to say it. But the main thing here is that when you do these GILJs, you're chaining them just an insane amount of them over and over and over again, and you just gain nuts amount of speed. And of course, in Ratchet 1, that's extremely useful because you can do it over mud. But in this game, they found it and they patched it before we could change anything. I mean, before we could route it into our route. So you could only imagine what this planet would have looked like with that, with the giant pits of lava. So, if only.
For sure, for sure. Do you have
No,
any
they
other?
did also put these rocks down here, which would prevent you from doing ILJs.
Yeah, I'm sure we'd find a way.
Sure, you
Yeah.
would. Anything else you want to show off? We got a little. We have like 10 minutes before the next one. So, anything else you got under your belt?
I'll just hover up here. Here's one thing that we never really got to explore. You see this? This is some nanotech that upgrades your health right away. So now I have 3 full circles. And then here's how we normally do ground ILJs in actual runs. You have a slope, and then you actually just mash a lot. And I'm not doing it at all because I'm bad at GILJs.
We could do taxi glitch, Scotto.
That requires me to finish the path on Dabo though, right?
Yeah.
But if we have 10 minutes, I can do that.
We have 10 minutes. And if you're down, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I just have to finish the path, go back.
Scotto, I could. I mean, it's not. I don't have my PS2 set up. But I was thinking like, I could
And
show
the
off
only
that
other option
thing
is
was
if I
talking
boot
about.
up my PS2 instead, and that's going to have like a different screen size. It's going to be a little annoying to set up, so I think I'll just do this. You know, I want to run APB anyway, so it's good to practice this.
Are you gonna do the swing shot chain as well?
I guess I have to since I don't have the dynamo.
Yeah. So there's a really cool swing shot chain I found here that I do for Hundo specifically, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's like kind of worth going for me. But I just think it's cool. So if you enjoy swing shot tech, that's kind of my specialty. So here's one of my favorite chains I have when Scotto gets to it.
Yeah, just have to hit the Dabo midair here.
Yep. So this is the path.
The nuke
This is
just
what we
bounced
went to.
off everything for some reason.
Oh my god, I can't believe you recovered that. Jeez.
Switch
So
to the
here's
helipad.
chain. Nope.
Whoa, I did a side flip SI there. If I did a regular SI,
So
then I could have saved
the
it.
goal there is to hit the swing shot target, carry a ton of speed into it, and glide to the end. So it's a little ridiculous, but I love swing shot stuff, so I'm willing to put in like an ungodly amount of time to stupid stuff like this. But
I ran out of mini nuke
pretty
ammo, so I gotta restock. Yeah, this will take a couple minutes to actually set up. Even if I do it all well, which I'm not doing it all well right now.
But yeah, the goal to do here is a glitch called taxi glitch, which is a little ridiculous. If we can actually get it to work, it's pretty interesting. But you know, it takes a few minutes. We gotta do the path that we normally skip. And
Whoa,
now you
that's some
figure out
hyper
why it
strike
does
lock
well.
on. Everyone's favorite game mechanic to hate, hyper strike lock on.
So that's
The wrench
that's
just
a
locked
callback.
onto something and it made me overshoot where I wanted to land. Messing up the midair again. Didn't land on the light. Yeah, this is not going well. I think it's about time we stop, to be honest.
If you want to stop, you're welcome to. This has
Yeah,
been really
this has
interesting.
been Ratchet and Clank going Commando. you saw a run that was 8 seconds off the world record, and I hope you enjoyed it.
And
Yeah.
because it's not updated on speedrun.com, that technically is world record. I guess.
Well, it is submitted, it's just not verified yet, I don't think.
Yeah, it's just not like on the page. Somebody DM'd me just a minute ago and was like, wait, was that world record? Wait, I was just checking speedrun.com. No way he hit world record. So.
But I mean, it's close enough to world record. Like, you know, the actual world record I got on the first attempt of the day. Got 100% world records that day, so I was pretty happy with it.
That's pretty good. 1 for 1, dude. We don't
1
miss.
for 1, call it quits.
Alrighty. Are you gonna call it here, or is this
Yep.
your last attempt?
If I get the swing shot chain here, then we'll show off taxi glitch. But if not, then we'll call it quits.
It all
Here.
comes down to this.
No hyper strike lock on. That's good.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just knock that guy off.
Oh no.
Nope. I tried.
We tried. All right. Well, that was pretty good. But thank you so much, Scotto. Thank you, and thank you, Manto, for your wonderful commentary. This has been a lot of fun.
Yep, and thank you for having us. And thanks to
Thank
St.
you
Jude
so much, Scotto.
for being
Thank
here.
you. Absolutely. Well, absolutely. Thank you for being a part of my marathon. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and swap it over.
Peace.
Yep, next up we got HS Blue, right? With his Jack
Yes,
and Daxter.
HS Blue is next. Yeah.
Cool.